Hello, bonjour, hola, konnichiwa, namaste. Thank you everyone for being here and taking the time to learn more about Microsoft Visio. I am Mukul Kumar, Worldwide Marketing Manager for Visio, and I have with me Shilpa, who's our in-house expert on Power Platform integrations.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shilpa, and I am a program manager on Visio team. Some of the areas that I look into are Visio integration with Power BI, Visio integration with Teams, with Power Automate. And welcome to the session.
Thank you, Shilpa. So let's start with a quick overview of Visio. What's Visio? Well, Visio is a diagramming tool by Microsoft that is used by students and professionals across a variety of industries. It lets you visualize processes and ideas and then converts it into easy to consume visuals, which you can then take and collaborate with your team members anywhere, anytime. That brings us to the idea of what we call visual collaboration. Many of you already know about visual problem solving techniques such as brainstorming and mind mapping. If you did not notice this earlier, well, now during the global pandemic, it has become very clear that collaborative meetings have become essential for innovation and creativity. They not only help team members collaborate, but enable them to be more creative and innovative. All of this boils down to the fact that teams need to capture ideas and processes digitally, work on them together from wherever they are, and share them across the organization. And that's where Visio excels. Visio integrates seamlessly with all these different apps within the Microsoft ecosystem. So let's look at a few of these integrations today. You can create, view, and edit your diagrams within Teams. You can add it as a tab and collaborate with your team members with real-time quadrant. You can also embed Visio diagrams into Power BI dashboards and bring them to life, which is what we are going to be discussing today. You can also export Visio process diagrams to Power Automate to automate them. Data in Excel can be connected with existing Visio diagrams, or a new diagram can be automatically created from data in Excel. Visio diagrams can also be exported to Excel, PowerPoint, and Word for presentations, compliance reports, and process manuals. Visio's online plans by default come with OneDrive storage where you can store your files to collaborate. And last but not the least, both Visio Web as well as the desktop allow you to create Azure diagrams using the out-of-the-box Azure stencils and templates. But today we are here specifically to talk about our Power BI integration. So let's get started. Shilpa, why don't you take it away?
Thank you, Mukul. Let's see how Visio and Power BI individually help you to achieve different kinds of insights. Power BI helps you build intuitive dashboards from various visualizations like charts and maps to understand complex data sets, measure KPIs, and track goals, all to achieve actionable business intelligence to take out business insights. And Visio help you create visualizations of your networks, your processes, your floor plans, your organization charts, etc. You can create powerful diagrams to discover operational insights. So in summary, you get business insights out of Power BI and you get operational insights from Visio. So what these two apps can do together, how are they better together? So Visio and Power BI are highly visual and naturally complementary. So using Visio and Power BI together, you can combine impactful diagrams and traditional Power BI visualizations in one place, enabling you to better understand the overall picture. By bringing these two together, real world context comes to life in Power BI dashboards. With business insights and operational insights together sitting side by side at the same place in your dashboards, it becomes really easy and much more powerful to help you get insights and get the bigger picture. Let's look at some of the examples of how to discover and communicate crucial business data by combining Visio and Power BI. You can check out these ready-made reports in the link provided in the screen.
Our first example is Contoso, a fictitious retail clothing store that is using Power BI to help monitor inventory. Using just the Power BI bar graphs gives us a good high-level visualization of the current and target sales and current inventory for each item. But what if Contoso needs more nuanced details? What if it needs to understand where each line is located in the store and how they are positioned relative to one another, and which can help them to basically take insights. Using a Visio diagram of the store's layout, we can overlay the data in Power BI on Visio's clothing rack drawings. The resulting Power BI dashboard provides an accurate, up-to-date representation of overall store inventory, while also giving us the ability to drill into real-world items like physical location. If you will see over here, this particular bar graph shows the sales and the current sales and the target sales, and the lower one shows the stocks and the sales. And the color coded that has been done in this drawing, it's really easy to understand what red color means, what blue color means, what green color means. In this particular bar graph, if you will see, I can see that the stocks is little high for tea dress and for cowboy hat. And in this particular bar graph, we can see that suit coat is not selling really well, it seems, because the targets are really high and the difference between the target and the current sales are like really big. So let's see what happens when I click on this. When I click on this, it is helping me to understand, okay, this has been color coded red, and if I want to understand why it is why it might be happening. So let's see. Okay, nearby this, there is this work in progress that is happening, and there is a construction area here, making it less accessible to customers. Based on this particular insight, we might decide to use more rack space for tea dresses and less for suit coats, and to consider repositioning the suit coat rack for greater accessibility. Let's go to the next example. Our next example uses Power BI and Visio to see real-time heating and cooling issues in an office floor. Each office has an expected temperature based on a thermostat set point. Looking at the graphs to the right, we can immediately see that some offices are above their expected temperatures. However, the office numbers themselves are not very helpful. By adding a Visio diagram to the floor, we can see that the top right corner of the floor is too hot, as shown by the red color code. Clicking an office highlights the data for that office in the Power BI graphs at the right of the window. In addition to the two offices that are 3 and 4 degrees above the expected temperature, Brenda Clark's office is also 1 degree above expected. All other offices are at their expected temperature. So there is an issue with heating in that corner of the floor that needs to be investigated and resolved. So since this visualization is based on the real-time data, facilities workers may be aware of and fix the issue before the people in the offices even notice it. Let's move to the next example. So Megan Bowen, an account manager with Contoso Electronics, wants to show how each sales lead step is doing related to their targets. Megan has a Visio diagram detailing her team's process flow and an Excel spreadsheet with the team's actual performance data against each step in the process flow. So she just needs a way to tie these two together to create a compelling visual, and that she can do with the help of Visio and Power BI by embedding this particular diagram over here and mapping the data in the Excel sheet. She can just visualize that in this particular diagram. With the team's performance data properly mapped to the flowchart diagram, Megan looks to make the flowchart more visually distinctive. How can she do it? She just can do it using color coding to see which steps are meeting or exceeding targets, which are nearly meeting targets, and which steps in the process needs greater attention. By color coding on the gap value, Megan can set process steps where the actual is 90% or better against the target to green. Also, Megan considers 75% to 90% as nearly meeting targets and sets those to yellow. Finally, the steps below 75% of the target, Megan codes as red. So it is visually very clear which steps warrant further investigation. Megan saves her work and can easily share this dashboard with her team to quickly find out that what is the bottleneck in this particular process, in this flow, and what needs to be attended immediately. Let's look at another example. In this example, we are using a Visio flowchart for a bank's home loan approval process. Throughput is a very important to this process. You want to avoid bottlenecks as this impacts profits. And clients also get upset when they miss closing dates as they can lose real estate deals. It's immediately clear that one of the steps in this process, property risk assessment, is red and performing below par. And why might this be? When we click the property risk assessment step, the data for that step are highlighted in the Power BI chart. There is a sizable gap between expected ticket SLA and the actual ticket SLA. That is 18 hours. What could be the reason for this? The resource allocation step by step chart provides a clue. We see that while 10 resources are allocated, this might not be enough. To resolve this issue, we may consider increasing the resources for the property risk assessment step. And it was really easy to figure out that what is the bottleneck, where do we need to focus on. Let's go to another example. Organization charts are one of Visio's bread and butter visualizations. So this dashboard shows how certain people and departments, illustrated by the Visio organization chart on the left, contribute to revenue targets for the company, shown in the Power BI graphs to the right. The enterprise has 3 product lines: Litware, Prosware, and A-Datum. Each product line has its own vice president with 1 or 2 directors reporting to the VP. If we only view the Power BI graphs, we would not see the connection between the revenue and the organizational structure. In the upper right, we see a stacked bar graph showing revenue per month by product. In the lower right, we see a positive or negative bar graph showing revenue percentage variance to budget by month. The variance graph shows that overall company is not meeting its revenue goal. In July, in August, in September. We would like to know whether any specific product area or sales team is pulling down the overall revenue to target numbers. When we click on Litware Legend in the bar graph, the display changes to highlight only the revenue and variance data for the VP Jen Westergaard and her 2 sales directors. From the variance bar graph, we see that the division as a whole is below par for the summer. Now, clicking the other 2 product lines, we see that the divisions are underperforming. All the divisions are underperforming. Any of the sales directors performing substantially better or worse than the others? When we click on each of the director, we can see that all of them have down numbers in particular month of July, August, and September. So this is probably not an individual issue, performance issue. Our side here is that the target revenue numbers for these 3 months may be unrealistic, or we may need to increase our advertising during the summer season. Let's move to the another one, root cause analysis. Fishbone charts are excellent tools for finding the root cause of a problem. And this organization brainstormed categories of inputs to the problem and specific inputs in each category. And then they did a polling of their employees, asking them to rate each factor on a scale of 1 to 10. The raw polling data are shown on the right in the Power BI and color-coded in the fishbone diagram from green to red. Green indicates a low level of concern and red a high probability of that factor contributing to the problem. The Visio diagram on the left relies on those employee ratings of operational categories depicted in Power BI. We see from the red factors in the diagram that poor working conditions, specifically noise and temperature, as well as behavior at the work, are the root cause of diminished product quality. This would be the most critical issues to address immediately. This is not an insight one can easily gain from the Power BI graphs alone. So these examples showed how the Visio visualization add-in gives you the ability to represent Power BI data just how you want it. The add-in allows you to design a Visio diagrams showing your business process workflows like a loan approval process or a real-world layout like your retail store floor plan, and quickly connect it to Power BI. The underlying Power BI data is automatically and intelligently linked to the diagram based on its shape properties, eliminating the need to do this manually. This is an incredibly powerful visual tool that lets you turn your Visio diagrams into an interactive Power BI visualization that can help you make informed decisions faster.
That was great, Shilpa. So do you need a license to view these reports as well?
The answer is no, you don't need any license to view these dashboards and reports. You just need a license to create a Visio file. Otherwise, you can create dashboards if you have a ready-made Visio file for free, and you can view these dashboards for free. You don't need a license for it.
Wow, that's awesome. But I bet creating those visuals in a Power BI dashboard must be super hard, right? Surely someone like me can't do it.
So the answer is, good, it's actually very super easy. We have a lot of time, and let me show you how to do it in very few simple steps. You can achieve all of these with very, very basic Power BI know-how.
The File tab helps everyone stay on the same page with the latest sales numbers, marketing collateral, and sales documents. For example, here Pradeep's team has been working to standardize their sales practices. Visio is a great tool for visualizing and communicating complex processes. This Visio diagram documents the team's current sales process. Now let's see what's happening in the conversations. This effort has yielded some great benefits, but the team is still not hitting their goal for this quarter. Miriam and Pradeep's boss has asked him to look into it. Now let's go to the sales. Again, Pradeep starts an investigation with his Power BI dashboard. This dashboard gives Pradeep a look at how sales is performing right now, including revenue against target, the number of leads in the pipeline, and the status of those leads. The dashboard also shows that the team is still running a bit short of their sales targets. Closing opportunities more quickly is a big focus for Pradeep's team, so they have included this gauge to track performance. It looks like a lot of opportunities are overdue for action. Now Pradeep can also look at individual opportunities and check their status over here. This dashboard also lets him filter by sales stage. As you can see over here in the overdue opportunities gauge and open opportunities table. Now, this is going to be the starting point for Pradeep's investigation. Find out why there are so many overdue opportunities and figure out where they are stuck in the pipeline. Pradeep goes and posts a quick message. Let's go to Power BI now. This Power BI dashboard is great for keeping up on the sales KPIs, but in this case, Pradeep wants to go deeper. He could parse through the data line by line, looking for anomalies and tabulating the results. But there is a quicker way. Using Power BI and Microsoft Visio, he is going to visualize the performance of the sales journey right here in Power BI. The Visio visual for Power BI is going to make this possible. This visual makes it easy to embed shared Visio diagrams into Power BI and gain highly visual insights into data. First, Pradeep adds Visio from here to his Power BI dashboard. He associates it with a data table that captures performance KPIs related to the sales process. Power BI prompts him to choose a diagram to link this data to. Let's find out our diagram. We can go to the place where our diagrams are stored. Here's the diagram Pradeep wants, the sales process diagram he was looking at earlier. We just click the URL to copy it. He copies the URL and then switches back to Power BI. He pastes it into the Power BI dashboard and connects the visual to the hosted diagram. After Pradeep connects to the diagram and refreshes the view, he gets his Visio diagram right in his Power BI dashboard. Now with Visio, Pradeep can visualize this process alongside the data that's relevant to it. This control gives Pradeep the ability to view the visual in multiple ways. He can choose one element to focus on. He can zoom in or pan and zoom to different parts of the diagram. And he can zoom out to show the whole diagram at once. This visualization is great, but in order to get the insights Pradeep is looking for, he needs to connect it with live data. One of the things his team tracks is how many opportunities are delayed in the pipeline and how many are running on time. In the fields pane, he goes and drag on time to the values. And this adds this data field to the diagram. In the visualizations pane, if you see in the values tab, this is count of on-time field that we just added. Power BI is intelligent enough to recognize that this data relates to the sales stages that are shown in the diagram. When Pradeep adds the data, Visio displays it as text under each stage. This is still a bit hard to parse visually, as you can see in the diagram. Now let's see how we can map it further, how we can make it even easier. Let's go to the field mapping pane. Here in this particular pane, Pradeep can control how each data field is shown on the page. So here he clicks on the display as tab. He decides to use a color scale to represent how many opportunities are running late or on time at each stage. Pradeep can also fine-tune the color scale here by changing the colors, adjusting the ranges, or changing the number of steps represented. Let's select one. Let's suppose he clicks on the yellow area. This is great. Now the diagram lights up with color. The sales stages that are running smoothly are displayed as green. Where there are delays, the stages are colored yellow, orange, and red. Visio and Power BI automatically bound the sales data to the diagram, but Pradeep can also do this manually or make adjustments. One of the Visio boxes, qualification called stage, doesn't seem to have been matched with the data properly. This is maybe because of a small difference in the Visio diagram and the back-end data set. Let's see how Pradeep can correct it. In the title box, fortunately, this is very easy to fix. Pradeep selects the box and then binds it to the appropriate sales stage from the data set. We select this particular one. Now the diagram is completely wired up to the data. A few stages are colored orange, indicating delays, but one stands out. That is the objection handling stage. In this stage, the team works together to address customer concerns about pricing, delivery, and so on. Now, by clicking on the objection handling stage, Pradeep can filter the whole data according to this particular one. Pradeep wants to concentrate on the opportunities that are running late. He moves the slide for the days to open to the right. Looking at the individual opportunities, one fact jumps out. Most of these are blocked because the customer has asked for a discounted price and the sales team is waiting for approval from the sales leadership team. This is an actionable insight. Now Pradeep can go back to his team, work to unblock the delayed opportunities, and build a sales process that avoids this bottleneck in the future. Now that he has completed his investigation, Pradeep wants to share this dashboard with the team so they can use it to track their efforts in the future. He publishes the dashboard, including the Visio diagram, to the sales workspace in Power BI. Clicks, saves, and select and replace the data set. Got it. Let's go to the browser again. Let's go here. Power BI, Visio, and Teams make it easy for Pradeep to share his insights, giving his team members valuable information that's presented in the context of work, continually updated to reflect the latest reality. Back in Microsoft Teams, the pinned dashboard is automatically updated with the diagram. Based on these insights, the sales team can now take action to get the stalled sales opportunities moving and reach their goal for this quarter. So this is that easy to just create a visual dashboard.
That was all from my side. Over to you, Mukul.
Wow, that was a terrific demo, Shilpa. After that demo, I feel like even someone like me can go and start playing around with this Power BI Visio visual feature. In summary, what did we learn today? So I think, what we learned is how easy it is to import a Visio diagram into a Power BI and combine operational and business insights into a single dashboard. How can we get new perspective with real world data using Visio and Power BI together? How easy it was to drill into specific data elements and understand how they affect the overall picture. And also how to interact with Visio diagrams, similar to how you would interact with Power BI visualizations, like filters and highlights and edits and shares. Editing Visio visuals require you to have a Visio Plan 1 or Plan 2. All Microsoft 365 subscribers automatically have 5 free trials of Visio Visual. Shilpa, could you also talk about any improvements that we've made which makes it easier for us to collaborate and share these reports?
Yes, Mukul, we have done tons of improvements in that area. Let me take you through it. Email subscriptions. So you can just go and you can configure the email subscriptions for these reports and dashboards to your convenience. You can also export this to PDF and to a PowerPoint deck in a single click. I do understand that cobbling together, sharing screenshots of your Visio visuals in Power BI could be cumbersome and isn't very professional too. With a single click, you can export your Power BI report with Visio visuals to a PDF file. You can create a PowerPoint slide deck. Easier and a much more professional way to share a diagram. It is also available in Microsoft Teams. You can pin it as a tab. And that is how your stakeholders can just go and find the tab when and where they need. Microsoft being the hub, wherein you find all your stakeholders, your clients, your vendors, your colleagues, it becomes really easy for them to just go and look at that. One more thing that I would like to share with you is like connection from where you can access this reports and dashboards. Visio Visual being available in web, desktop, Windows, iOS, and Android devices, you can just go and sign on in any of these platforms and you can just go and view your reports. It is that easy. You can just go and view your reports on the go.
Thank you, Shilpa. That was great. So that actually brings us to the end of our session. Hopefully that was very informative. But before you go, let me leave you with a few pieces of information that lets you connect to us. If you have any new features in mind, you can always reach out to User Voice and leave a comment and submit a feedback there. Definitely follow us on Twitter and our Facebook page, and even on LinkedIn. Go to our tech community blogs to learn about our recent announcements and new features that we add on a constant basis. You can also go to our website to do a free trial for Visio, both Plan 1 and Plan 2. And lastly, you can always let us know about anything you want to tell us on tellvisio@microsoft.com. We try to respond to every email, and so that's always a great place to start. So once again, thank you for watching this video. We have a lot other videos where you could find more information on Visio and other features. So features like Visio with Power Automate, Visio on Teams, Visio with Excel. You can watch all these videos on the virtual hub. Thank you for your time. Hope you have a wonderful day ahead.